Scaling your law firm doesn't have to be difficult. It's all about mastering a few key strategies, systems, and mindsets. Welcome to the Scalable Law Podcast, where we talk about how you can increase profit in your pocket and time in your calendar. My name is Carolee Fontanelli, and I have successfully scaled my firm so that it doesn't solely rely on me. Now I love teaching other law firm owners how to do the same. Let's transform your business starting now. Welcome to another episode of the Scalable Law Podcast. This week we are talking about law firm owner happiness. It's not all about work. And what I feel happens out there as I'm talking to law firm owners is that it can be really easy for them to lose sight of why they started their law firm in the first place, or why they, were driven to do that. Some of the reasons are often that they want to make more money than they were making in a senior role. And then the other reason often is they want more freedom and flexibility that they could get when they were employed by someone. But then what happens is they go into their own law firm, they start billing full-time billables, so working 5+ hours a day on billable work, but then they're also retaining their own clients, marketing the firm, getting out networking, doing accounts, answering the phone, you name it, they're wearing all the hats in the business. So not only now are they working as a lawyer full-time, but they're also working as a business owner full-time. That's 2 times full-time. That's not 40 hours a week anymore, people. That's more like 80 hours a week. And then law firm owner happiness goes out the window because they are overworked and often underpaid. Now, this is not a fun place to be for any business owner. It's not a fun place to be for a law firm owner at all. And so today we want to talk about law firm owner happiness and the components of what makes it a happy and joyful ride being a law firm owner, rather than a miserable and terrifying ride, which it can be as well. It can really feel like it's a pit of despair for a lot of people. And I know that because I talk to so many law firm owners, and sometimes they are really struggling to achieve law firm owner happiness. And instead, they are just feeling like they are the most overworked employee ever, and they have the worst boss ever, which is themselves. And this is most certainly not the intention that they started out with. They never ever thought that they would really struggle as much as they do being a law firm owner. They thought that it was going to be a lot different from what it is. They thought they'd have more money and they thought they'd have more flexibility, and it doesn't turn out like that at all. So how can we change that? How can we turn it around? Because if that is you, if you are feeling like that, it is not impossible to turn it around. And it's totally possible to have what you set out to have in the first place. You just have to make some changes. Now, these are the sorts of changes that we discuss and talk about in the Scalable Business Lounge. We help you to make those changes. We help you to attract the ideal clients. We help you to work on the business rather than in it. We help you to systemize and streamline everything so that you are not the one doing absolutely everything. So that's what we love to do. But before we get into that, I really want to discuss what law firm owner happiness looks like. But first of all, I actually want to read you an incredible review that I got on Instagram today. Thank you, Sahili, for leaving me such an awesome review. She said in her message, "Hey, Carolee, just wanted to let you know that I found your podcast recently and I'm binge listening." That is awesome. She says, "While I don't run a traditional firm, so many of the things that you talk about really resonate with me, not just for me and my business, but also what I see from my clients as well, who are also solo firm owners. I will definitely be recommending your podcast. Nice to connect." So nice to connect with you as well. And thank you so much for the review. It's awesome hearing from people because I don't actually know who is tuning in. I just sit here in my room on my own, chit-chatting away to myself about topics to do with running a law firm that really excite me. And so, often I don't really know who's listening. So it is great to hear from you. So thank you so much for that. Now, I would love to get into talking about law firm owner happiness and what it actually looks like. So if you go to the website where this podcast, the podcast show notes are being held, I will leave an image there for you. But just picture 3 elements of your law firm owner happiness, and that is time, having time. Making impact is another one, number 2. And number 3 is wealth. So what we want to do as law firm owners, and I think if we get these things right, we can actually find really great law firm owner happiness. So time, impact, and creating wealth. The point of going into business so much of the time for ourselves is because we want to create those 3 things. We want to do law differently. We want to be a different employer from what we've experienced in the past. We want to impact our clients in a different way. When it comes to wealth, we want to have contribution and create a legacy for our future. And with time, we want more freedom. So it's all about freedom, value, and purpose. Now, there's a really great graphic on the website if you want to go and have a look at it. But I do want to talk to you about each of these individually and what they might mean for you, or for, a different, you or me, or, there's some things here that aren't going to resonate with you as much as others. I think for me, a lot of it resonates with me. So being a law firm owner and having your own business, when you get these 3 things right, time, impact, and wealth, it really does make a huge difference to how you feel about your life in general. I know for me, I've been talking with so many law firm owners, and when we are stressed humans, we do not run at our best levels. And, when we don't have time, sometimes we can be chasing our tails and we're not being effective making impact. We're running from week to week. The wealth component isn't there and it stresses us out, and it can go in a big frantic circle that's unhealthy. So let's talk about each of these. So first up, time. What does it mean to have time? Well, there are a few different components to time for me, I think. And the first one is spending time with friends and family, doing things that you love. So that means not working on the weekends. That means putting down your computer at 5 o'clock and being able to enjoy cooking dinner with the family, sitting at the table with the family, making arrangements, going out with friends. Guess what I'm doing tonight? I'm going to Michael Bublé, which is amazing. I can't wait to be going to Michael Bublé tonight to a concert. But, I can do that because I'm able to knock off work at 4 o'clock to be able to get there on time without the stress. And I don't have to be thinking about work the second I leave the door. I won't be checking any emails or worrying about it. So, and on the weekends, not working on the weekends is so important because you're not getting that quality time with family and friends if you are working all night. So time also means for me, and this whole idea of having law firm owner happiness is about having that time to do more of what you love to do. So whatever that is, going on holidays, having other hobbies or things that you love doing on the side. For me, going for my morning walks. If you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I love getting up early in the morning and watching the sun rise over the beach as I'm walking along the beach. That's doing more of what I love. And again, tying that into with the family and friends. So doing more of what you love, that can happen if you have the time, and that creates that law firm owner happiness. Next up for time is renewal. When you've got time to renew yourself. And renewal is so, so important. That is, again, putting down the computer at 5 o'clock or earlier and not switching it back on until work starts the next day. That is renewing on the weekend. So, making sure that your tools are down on the weekend and you've got those 2 days to renew. It means going on holidays and spending that time on holidays. I talk to law firm owners all the time that don't go on holidays, or if they do, they're on the whole time, really working, not really taking the break for renewal. So having time for renewal is really important. And the last one here that I want to talk about in time is to get that real law firm owner happiness is time so that you've got space to create. Now, I know as lawyers, we're not overly creative often. We don't think that we are, but as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we are creative, and we need to be creative to be visionaries of our law firms. And to be a visionary of your law firm, let me tell you, you definitely need time to be able to do that, because without the time to do that and creating that space to be creative, then it's really, really hard to feel like you can be a visionary, because you're just then chasing your tail with work rather than having that time to create and be creative. I know for me, when I go away on holidays and I'm really not thinking about work, is sometimes when I come up with my best ideas and visions for the future, which my team rely on me to do those things. So having space to create is really, really important. So when it comes to time and the elements of time and business owner happiness, family and friends are really important. Doing more of what you love is really important. Having time for renewal is really important. And creating space and having time to be creative, to be that visionary of your law firm. Okay, let's move on to the next component of business owner or law firm owner happiness, and that is making an impact. It is so important, I think, as lawyers, if we really want to feel like we're achieving, having that purpose and adding value to people's lives. I think sometimes we can lose sight of that. I'm part of this group called Lawyer Mums Australia, and it's a Facebook group. There's about 8,000 women in the group, and there's a lot of unhappy lawyers in the group. And I think part of the unhappiness about practicing law is that they've lost a vision or a feeling for the purpose of the work that they do. And, we can make a huge impact as lawyers, and we can make an even huger impact as law firm owners, because it's not only the clients that we are helping and impacting and, affecting in the positive, but it's also our team members as well. So making an impact really does contribute to your happiness as a law firm owner. And I think remembering the impact that we make is so important. So, or remembering the impact that we can make, or the opportunities that are before us is really important. So let's talk about impact. So the first is charity. So what kind of things out there do you want to support? How can you get involved? Is that something that can, really make an impact and give you drive and purpose as you deliver your service as a law firm owner? If you've got time or you've got money to help, either of those items there in charity, it really can make a big difference to others. And when you make a big difference to others, you can really increase your happiness as well. So is there something that really strikes you or, holds onto your heart in terms of charity? where you can make an impact and make a difference. Next up in impact, we have mentoring. Mentoring is something that we love to do as lawyers, and we were mentored. Someone took us under their wings. I know that I've been mentored by some great lawyers and some great business people, and that has really made all the difference to my life. So that impact that you make for others, and now it's our turn as law firm owners to make an impact. And this is one of the things that I love and gives me so much purpose and value, both in my law firm and in Scalable Law, is the mentoring, because I know that I'm making a huge impact on people. In my law firm, the impact really is directly to my team. I'm bringing people through. I'm helping them to be great leaders. I'm helping them to become awesome lawyers. And the way that, and not only that, it's not just with the legal team, but also with my admin team. It's creating that opportunity and mentoring people. So that gives me great joy. And in Scalable Law, the mentoring of other lawyers and bringing through their teams, where I know the impact is massive. Because if we can be amazing leaders in the legal industry, we can impact so many people. And a lot of that is through mentoring others. I just love helping other people, and it does give me great purpose and joy, and it really adds to my business owner happiness. So that's what I would love for you guys as well. Where else is impact really important? But it's also around changing people's lives. So how are we changing lives as law firm owners? What are we doing? So again, it comes down to changing the lives of the people who come and work for us, the people that are on our team, giving them opportunities. Now, you may never know how grateful a junior lawyer is that was with you for 2 years, or you may never know, the lawyer who left you after being there for 7 years. They will always remember you. They will always know the impact that you made in their lives, and how you've changed their lives. They may not ever tell you though, but you are making a difference. So as a law firm owner, but also when it comes to clients as well, how are we changing people's lives? I know in family law, we are changing people's lives in a massive way. Again, you're not going to get necessarily the appreciation or the bunch of flowers, but it's not about that. It's just actually sitting and knowing, because you're living in purpose and you're making that impact, which obviously creates a lot of law firm owner happiness, as you go on with the work that you do. And the last one I would like to talk to you about, and impact, again, is all about team, and that is creating opportunity for your team. So who have you got on your team that you're creating opportunity for? I've got 3 employees who are in the Philippines. I know that I'm creating opportunity for them and their families over there, which is awesome. And, in Australia, I've got team members here, both senior team members and junior team members. We're creating opportunities in our firm with layers of leadership, so that senior lawyers can come through as team leaders and start their pathways to, maybe ownership of a firm or partnership, either in my firm or someone else's firm. But it gives them that opportunity. Junior lawyers, we're bringing them through with excellent training and lawyering skills, which I'm very, very proud of. And then our admin team, we're always looking for ways that they can move into the next role rather than leave the firm. So we're creating opportunities for our team, and very proud of that. And that really does give me a lot of business owner or law firm owner happiness as I, go about running the firm. So that's all about impact and purpose. And next up, when it comes to lawyer owner happiness, the third element that I want to talk to you today about is creating wealth for yourself. Now, It's not just about creating money. I've got 4 different aspects of wealth that I want to talk to you about today that for me are really important, and they do shape your happiness as far as a law firm owner goes. So the first one is contribution. So if you have got wealth, you're creating wealth in your firm, you're contributing. You're contributing greatly as a taxpayer. You're contributing to the community often. You're contributing to suppliers. You're contributing to other team members, incomes. So there's lots of contribution there, and that is, a great thing to be part of. I remember once, I've often told this story. I went to Japan. No, it wasn't Japan. I went to China, and I went into someone's business. They were a manufacturer of clothing. It was a knitwear business, and it was a large company. And they took us around. They showed us with pride what they did. It was really amazing, actually. And when we went down into this room, there was a room down the bottom of their business, and it was quite a big room, and it was full of their awards and accolades. And the award that the woman was most proud of was that her business was one of the top 10 taxpayers in her city, in her town. And they had an award, a plaque on the wall that said she was a top 10 taxpayer. And she was so incredibly proud of it. It was an eye-opener for me, because it was a different approach from how we are when we're sort of grumble and moan about paying tax. This was an honor to pay tax, because being a top 10 taxpayer means that you are a great contributor to the community. And that's really important. So if we think about it like that, the more wealth we create, the more contribution we can create through the taxes that we pay. Next up in wealth is legacy. Thinking about legacy, what are you leaving behind? What are you creating for your family? What are you able to provide your family? So for me, I've been very fortunate to be able to put my kids all through a private school, the most expensive, privileged private school on the Gold Coast for both the boys and the girls. And that's been awesome for me. So that's the start of a legacy for them. My son Levi just graduated last week from law school, and he's been able to do that because of the education he's had. And then hopefully with the firm, at some point I will sell it, or I will hand it on, or whatever it might be. But hopefully the firm itself will also create a legacy. And with the legacy part, not only am I, growing the firm, but I've bought premises for both my Brisbane and my Gold Coast office that the firm sits inside. So, that's further legacy into my retirement and for my family. So, there's a lot of happiness there in terms of what I can create for the future for me and for the family as well. And that brings me on to the next component of law firm owner happiness, and that is your future. Thinking about your future, what does retirement look like? Now, we can all earn whatever it is, whether it's your salary or whether it is your profit, or as a law firm owner, we can earn it and we can spend it as well. But when we think about the future, what does that future look like for us? And how do we want to create that future in terms of wealth and legacy? So when it comes to the future, how are we setting ourselves up? What have we got in place, with retirement funds, super funds, 401ks, whatever it might be, wherever you're located? What does the future look like? And, are we being wise with our earnings that we're making, and are we creating a future for ourselves as we move into retirement? I think for me, this really became much more of a focus when I turned about 40. I started to really dig in and start saving for my future more so, because it felt to me at 40 that my earning years were limited. Even though I know there's a lot of earning years ahead, I sort of thought, I looked back and thought, jeepers, I haven't really come that far, didn't feel like that I had. And I'm sort of halfway through my adult earning potential, I suppose you could say. So what sort of wealth am I actually creating rather than just spending it all on lifestyle right now? So that's something to really, really think about. What do you want retirement to look like? What do you want your future to look like? And how are you using the law firm, the privilege of owning a law firm and the money that you're earning right now? How are you using it to create a positive future for yourself? So that's something that I think about often, and it definitely gives me some law firm owner happiness knowing that I'm creating a future for myself as I go along. And the very last one when it comes to wealth and law firm owner happiness is lifestyle. You want to create a lifestyle right now that you love. If you are working 90 hours a week on weekends and late nights and all of that sort of thing, and you're not having any fun, what kind of lifestyle is that? And is that creating you law firm owner happiness? So, and if not, how can we create a better lifestyle for yourself right now? So for me, lifestyle is about having time, making impact, also having wealth and enough finance so that I can save for my future, leave a legacy, contribute now, and have a lifestyle where I can travel and do things that I want to do. So this week, I am on the Sunshine Coast. I'm not even in the Gold Coast this week. I'm having a change of scenery, but working from another office. And I can do that because I have set myself up in the law firm that gives me a flexible lifestyle. So is that something that you can do as well with creating systems and processes and getting everything ticking along in your law firm so that you're not required there all the time? So let's recap on that, on the three elements of law firm owner happiness. Time, impact, and wealth are all the three things that add up to your law firm owner happiness. So we need freedom and purpose and value. I think everything there, it really can help us to create the life that we really want to. And that includes, all the things that we've talked about: friends and family renewal, doing what you love, and creating space so you can be creative. That's around time. Having an impact, as around charity, mentoring others, changing people's lives, and giving other people around you, like people in your team, opportunities. And creating wealth is around contributing. It's creating a legacy, having wealth for your future, and creating a lifestyle for yourself that you love, where you can, be where you need to be, or you want to be, hang out with who you want to be hanging out with, and really having a life that you really enjoy. So I hope that this episode has brought you some elements of happiness, or, to think about. What are some of the things here that you need to change? What's not working for you in this picture here of the three elements of law firm owner happiness? Is there something here missing? Can you improve on something here? Maybe it's an adjustment of attitude. Maybe it's an adjustment of how you're running your law firm. Maybe it's simply joining the Scalable Business Lounge so that you can start creating more time and making more impact and creating wealth for yourself. Because that's really what we're doing inside the Scalable Business Lounge, is getting all of those three components right so that you can really get back to the whole reason that you started your law firm in the first place. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I've actually really enjoyed delivering this one. It's been awesome. I talked to my whole group, this whole Scalable Business Lounge group, the other week about this, because we were doing a plan for the new financial year. And as part of that plan, we spoke about law firm owner happiness, because there's no point just planning out your finances for the next 12 months. We also need to plan out your actual happiness. Holidays come in there. space for renewal, time with family and friends, who you want to be employing and mentoring and giving opportunities to. There's all of those things to be planning out for the new financial year, not only your finances. So I hope that you've really enjoyed this episode as much as I have enjoyed delivering it. If you'd like to find out more about Scalable Business Lounge, you can have a look over at scalablelaw.com. You will find me there, or you can find me on Instagram or LinkedIn under Carolee Fontanelli. Until next time, have a fabulous week. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to the Scalable Law Podcast, brought to you by the Scalable Business Lounge. If you would love to know how you can get more clients without relying on referrals, head over to scalablelaw.com to watch my free masterclass. Until next time, you have got this.